In the creatures with mighty jungle where Wiggler sleeps tonight. Anyway, yeah, there's not much I can think of. Hey everybody, this is me, Mario here, and I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here. We're back from the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of New Super Mario Bros. Wii for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we actually did finish up World 4, even though we actually got, the airship level done and over with, even though we did that, flawlessly. And today for this episode, we're about to be heading to the halfway point of the game, which was, World 5 we're about to be heading to. And this actually takes place in a forest, environment. Because, you know, there are some bunch of trees, and there are some creatures that we may actually encounter throughout. And as well as from that, though, that, we're going back into the vertical map design again. So, yeah, as you probably expected, as you guys probably already know this at this point in time. So, and, yeah, the castle's just right there. And then, let's get this started then, shall we? So let's go ahead and do level 5-1. So, I have no idea why we're standing right between these two shells here. I wonder why. Probably we'll just have to find out when we actually get into it. So as far as when the game's progression, that the game will get really dang difficult, especially getting the star coins department. Even then though, I did manage to play this game from time to time, so even then though, that we know exactly what we're doing here. So, as you can see, we have ourselves a new introduction enemies ever since in this game. I think these were called a long store piranha plants, I think. Even though I do not memorize some of the enemies of the Mario universe. Although, we do know some of the common ones, like the Goomba ones that are easiest pie to actually defeat, and Koopa Troopers, which are equivalent to Koopas, or Goombas rather, but except that you actually have to use the shell in order to actually toss everything. So, although unfortunately, unlike New Super Mario, no, not New Super Mario Bros. Super Mario World, that you can't throw the shells upwards. So instead, you have to just, you know, chuck the shell from left or right. So it's a bit like how it does it for Super Mario Bros. 3's Koopa shell system. So, yeah, that's as far as we can consider that already. So, yeah. So, a few things we just want to mention about something is that, well, there's quite a few things we're just gonna have to talk about throughout. Is that, recently, that we got ourselves a new PlayStation 3 game, even though that game was been out for almost a year old now. And that game is actually called J-Stars Victory vs. Plus. If you guys who are familiar with that game, it's basically a fighting game like Only Among with take for instance, just like how it does in Super Smash Bros. Series, for example, that even then though that Super Smash Bros. Actually has every single Nintendo characters or whatever. Yeah, Nintendo characters. So as well as some inclusion, as well as the some of the third-party characters like the Sega, Capcom, or Namco this time in the fourth entry in the series. It's kind of like that, but except that it's a part of the anime and manga series, which basically is summed up like this, like anime series, which are Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, which is assuming is a pirates anime show, and as well as the to the 3. I think I can't remember what the specific title's name. But, and then, when we did manage to play that game, in this case, J-Stars Victory vs. Plus, we had a pretty good time on that game, to be honest with you. Even then, I heard there are a lot of people, or a lot of critics, to think that, this is probably has the mixed receptions to the game. Mostly because of the, how repetitive the fighting was, compared to the other Dragon Ball Z titles, or something like that, or any other fighting games for that matter. And also the lack of depth, although much like in Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, the lack of depth was actually still present. So, I'm guessing that's why we've considered that. But even then though, I don't mind, let the character's voice in Japanese, because even then the Japanese version of J-Stars Victory vs. Plus, in this case originally the without Plus, but usually released that in Japan. I think it did release that on 2014. And then a year later for international, or in this case, another regions. So, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. So here we go, on to level 5-2, where we actually come across into regulars, the returning enemies since the new Super Mario Bros. On the DS, as well as Super Mario World. They actually first introduced to these guys. So, you know, you get the drill. If you step onto the regulars, you actually, not to kill them, but it actually makes regulars seem to actually get some bad temper on you. So you just have to be very careful, especially if you're actually trying to actually time your jumps just right, or why not. As well as we actually get into that, we actually enter on the underground section, where the main gimmick on this level here is the fact that we can actually bounce up and down, or in this case just bounce up at the regulars. So yeah, it's pretty handy, especially noticeable when we actually get into right now, which is actually where we have to avoid the poisonous water. So if you do touch the poisonous water, because much like the ones in the original game, that you will automatically die, just like the lava. So yeah, don't encourage that. So because of that, this is the forest world after all. So I guess that probably makes it a bit of a downfall. So. And there's also some swoop bats right here. They always kind of reminds us about the sewer bats from the Pokemon series. Even though from the looks of it, it looks very similar, but it's just that it doesn't have a exact, you know, exactly the same sounds as far as we could consider it. Or maybe, if we're wrong on that. And we bounce up all the way up to the flagpole, like a trampoline or something like that. But even now, we only got a maximized 1-ups at the moment right now. Yeah, considering that we're doing pretty good at the game actually. Despite there's plenty of deaths on some situations, like let's say take World 2 for example. Yeah, you know, the secret exit and stuff like that. So when we actually in the world map of World 5, here's what the main gimmicks of the world map on World 5 comes into play. That, as you can see, you know these branches or brambles, as you can probably imagine, or you can see that right there? These will actually just try to block your progress, especially if you're actually trying to just trying to cover some more levels and whatnot. So even though we couldn't access to the level 5-3 just yet, although the only way you can sort of do is the fact that you can actually either just die from a level, or if you actually just to be more... Oh great, we're not doing pretty good, don't we think? Unless we actually got ourselves a propeller mushroom, don't forget Mario. Oh yeah, I guess you're right though, Sonic. Okay, so it looks like we're doing pretty good. Yeah, even though we only got about 5 items, or actually 4 items for that matter. So let's see if we can get the rest for that little part right there. Oh, darn it, we got Bowser Mark. We still haven't got them all. And somehow we actually got 4 left, or 5 left. Well, we're literally close though. But yeah, as you can see, the path there is originally there's going to be a 3rd level down there, but it's been blocked. So in order way we need to actually just deal with that, as we said earlier, you can either risk yourself for extra lives, or simply put, just complete the other level. Presumably we're going to level 5 tower already. Even though it's a bit too early for this little stage, but because of that though, that we can't do anything at the moment. So it can be a little bit of a random luck-based elements to it, because it will be kind of annoying in some segments where if you're about to actually cover some you know, toad houses and some of the levels that you haven't been into just yet. Yeah, that's all you're literally trying to do in these world in particular. So yeah, a bit of annoying though when you're actually first time playing it. But luckily, once we actually beat this world, we'll explain more on that until we actually just continue exploring World 5. So I'm guessing that not much of the fact that, well, I don't know what I can think of. Okay, so here you go. On to, speaking of level 5-tower, this is the main gimmick of level 5-tower, where we're actually gonna be climbing up while avoiding the spiked wall. Or in this case, a moving spiked wall. Yeah, because as you can probably see, that it alternates either left or right. So keep that as a little timing pattern here, so that you won't able to get spiked on the some spikes there. Now, as far as winning star coins locations wise, there aren't too much of a difficult thing to do. For the last star coin, all you have to do here, or in fact that we almost so goddamn close if we almost got hit. But this is what you essentially do in the last star coin in this particular level. Basically, you need to actually become bigger form. And how do we know? Well, you see those blocks there that you can't actually break them with small Mario. But once you actually become bigger form, presumably right now, or in the alteration of it, you can either use the Fire Mario for that matter. You can decide to go ahead and just break those blocks, and that's how you get to it. So just to be sure to be careful with these spikes, because you don't want to accidentally just get touched by this stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so the boss fight, in this case a Koopaling boss in World 5, is Iki Koopa. And I'm pretty sure that Iki Koopa was actually, originally you fight him in Super Mario Bros. 3. I think this was actually from World 4? I'm guessing though. Even though it has been quite a few days since we actually play Super Mario Bros. 3 sometime. Or maybe... I'm guessing I'm as well confused at this point in time. So all he does, he just bounces around or jumps around all over the place while actually riding onto those 3 moving elevating platforms. So that's all you're literally trying to do in this part. I found this boss fight to be quite difficult sometimes, because sometimes that if we originally were trying to get him during that time, but then somehow we actually realized that, well, we just couldn't hit him. So, it might be catching you off guard at points though, so anyway. But overall, not too difficult though. And Toad is going to be located in level 5-2. And it looks like the brambles is changing, so in this case, I'm trying to block in certain paths. Although we seem to kind of trapped from here, but there's another way that we can also go to the undiscovered level. Is that if you hit into the world map, and then just pick any different worlds you've actually been into, or in this case you've already completed, and then hit back into World 5, and then this show actually allows us to actually get to level 5-3. So, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so what do we have in here? So, another thing we'd like to talk about here is the fact that, recently that, we've managed to actually finally completed the next Zelda game in our own time, which was none other than The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks for the Nintendo DS. Overall, from that game, I found it to be really enjoyable, just like the Phantom Hourglass. And, even then though, that we pretty much guaranteed that we're pretty much done with the DS Zelda games on our own time. Even then though, that we had a lot of fun with it, don't you think? Yeah, especially that we're almost still continuing on with our own Zelda marathon completionist-wise. So, I'm not exactly sure where to tackle through Oracle of Seasons or Oracles of Ages. Because, I'm pretty sure that these of all these titles throughout in the Game Boy Color, I pretty much do not know what the game is about though. But that's just to me anyway. So yeah, gradually speaking, that we actually completed 3 Zelda games at this point in time. Even then, we actually started ourselves in the first part of Skyward Sword. Look, here's my favorite part, Prism. Yeah, as you can see that right there, if you actually hit him with the pipe cannon, you can actually see that if you defeated him or kill him, and that little stretchy, bendy, long leg-ish enemies, that it'll actually pops up some coins. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, who cares about the propeller block, because we already got a propeller power-up to begin with. Yeah, and plus not to mention that we don't need a block anyway. So the next star coin is going to be right over there, and basically all you have to do is just take care of this guy first. And then basically we need to bust out these brick blocks while using the Koopa Shell. Because, you know, you can't usually destroy those brick blocks as the Mario's tornado jump or spin jump. So, you know. Okay, so let's crouch here, just slide, and then that's how we're supposed to get it. And the third and final star coin is a bit more nerve-wracking because it was right underneath those little platforms, as you can see, but you don't want to accidentally touch the poisonous water, or in this case, the toxic water. So you just have to time your jump just right, and that's how you get to it. And now when we get to the end, oh my god, he's actually running really fast. So this means that it will be a lot trickier to actually kill it. So yeah, that will be a total bit of a situations and stuff. So yeah, who cares about trying to get a 1-up though? Because we're just about to keep in the Propeller Mario for the time being. Whilst we actually go into the later levels, that I don't think we can actually get ourselves a Propeller Mushroom for long. For now anyway. And now we've finally completed the first half of World 5. Yeah, it will be kind of annoying sometimes if you're actually trying to get to the other parts of the level throughout in this map. But still, you just have to put up with this. So here we go, on to level 5-4, we got ourselves a different gimmick. And yeah, that Bramble is actually blocking a 1-up Toad House. But I don't think we can actually get some more 1-ups, even more 1-ups, because, you know, Maximize is only 99. You know, just like how it does in New Super Mario Bros. In the DS. So, yeah, I just want to let you know that, if you probably already know by now. So, for this gimmick right here, as you can see, we're actually riding on the raft. And basically, every time when these enemies drop in, assuming if you actually don't let them just catch you off guard, especially if they're right up in the air, or in this case, right on the top of the screen. Basically what you have to do here is to actually keep an eye out the count of these enemies they actually riding on the raft. So as you can see, our count is now up to 5. Basically, this meaning that if you actually let these enemies go, or in this case 5 enemies can hop onto the raft won't continue unless if you actually kill these enemies. So you're gonna have to keep up with some of few amount of enemies as you can. So that's all you're literally trying to do in this level. So yeah. This level kind of a tricky on the side because especially noticeable if you're actually trying to get some star coin system is that even then though I don't mind about the star coin locations. They are pretty easy to find though. If I had to be perfectly honest here. And how do we know exactly? Well, assumingly, first things first, that you probably already know that the first star coin you need to grab is by basically freezing up the enemies with the ice flower. And then the second star coin, all we need is a power block. And then you see this little line of coins, and if you drop it, then there's your second star coin. And the third and final star coin is basically very much like how it does in a level 4 airship. That basically all we have to do is basically try to actually let the bombs actually destroy something. So, assumingly we're almost nearly the end of this level already. Even then, we're constantly getting hit most of the time. And yeah, there's also another way to kill these piranha plants by just tossing those bombs at them. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, as you can see, there's the last star coin. All we have to do is just basically let the bombs actually destroy these harder bricks. So if you do that, then your mission is accomplished. Yeah, anytime at all. So, hey, at least we did this level for the first try though, which is pretty lucky considering. So, even then though, that the level itself would be quite long though, if I have to be honest here. So, yeah. So, yeah, that was it for level 5-4, even though it's not much of the commentary-wise, but, still, sometimes the dialogue can be a little bit jumbled mess at the moment, but, we'll speak more on that until we actually get into the next video. And speaking of the next video, we're gonna have to finish this video just about right here. So, next time, on Let's Play New Super Mario Bros. Wii, that, we're about to be hopefully finishing up World 5, assuming if the Brambles doesn't get in our way, but, we'll find out in during time. So, anyways, see you guys next time. Later, fellas. See you then.